sweet kiss our little. Now for go along, yeah. Sweet kiss our liver. Now for go along. You take it from Peter today, Paul will take it from you tomorrow, mama. Sweet, sweet, living is sweet, oh, whether rich or poor. Boy, don't pray for long fellow, he can pray for long life. As long as they live, you know, the better we grow. Fine, power, you find out, it can make you heavy. It's just like a brook, you know, it way to capsize. Sweet, sweet kiss our liver. No for go along. He might be can eat it, or a picture can eat it. Kiss our oh, sweet kiss our oh. No for go along. You take it from Peter today, or Paul will take it from you tomorrow, mama. You take it from me right today, or mother will take it from you tomorrow. Fine, oh, by your fine, when in your fever. Well, people do to you, you got to cry. That's enough for one person, oh, it's a matter of time. Our time is a lesson, yeah, brother, this I have. Sweet kiss our liver, not for go alone, mama. Human being can eat it, oh, the deer can eat it. Ah, kiss our liver. Our liver, no for go along. Human beings can eat it, or a creature eat it too. Sweet, sweet, living is sweet, oh, whether rich or poor. Why not pray for long fellow? He can pray for long life. As long as they're living, the better we grow. You take it from me right today, oh, Mira will take it from you tomorrow, mama. Hey, you take it from Peter today, oh, Paul will take it from you tomorrow. Fine, power is found, oh, it can make you heavy. Looking like a crook, you know, equate to capsize. Ah, Kesawalia, ah, Kesawalia, mama, no for go alone. When I pray for long fellow, he always pray for long life. As long as they're living, the better we grow. Sweet, sweet kiss our liver, no for go alone. That's enough for one person, oh, it's a matter of time, papa. Our time is a lesson, yeah, brother, this I had. I'm about away, never where my way gone. Be the your woe. I'm about away, papa, yeah. how I live. Now for go along. You take it from Peter today, Paul will take it from you tomorrow, mama. Sweet, sweet, living is sweet, oh, whether rich or poor. Why not pray for long fellow? He can pray for long life. As long as they live, you know, the better we grow. Fine, power is fine, oh, it can make you heavy. It's just like a brook, you know, it way to capsize. Sweet, sweet kiss our liver, not for go alone. He won't be can eat it, or a picture can eat it. Kiss our liver, kiss our liver, oh, sweet kiss our liver. Not for go alone. You take it from Peter today, oh, Paul will take it from you tomorrow, mama. You take it from me right today, oh, mother will take it from you tomorrow. Fine, oh, by your fine, may in your favor.
Good evening, folks. Welcome this evening to BKS Online Television. Welcome to the Guitar program here on BKS TV. On the Guitar, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullet. Today is the 5th day of September 8, 2025. We'd like to say welcome to all of you, those of you joining us via Radio Land in Butuo or its surrounding in Nema County. We'd like to say welcome to the show this evening. Those of you watching us on Facebook, please do us a little due diligence and tell us where you're watching us from and share the show with somebody and let somebody share with another person so that we can have a wonderful, wonderful conversation here tonight. Mr. Don Miller watching us this evening from his resident in LPRC Community Zone 1, Kansas City, Nema County. Don, welcome to the show this evening. Please help us to share the show with somebody and let somebody share with another person. Tell us where you're watching us from this evening and tell us your location, how you feeling the show here tonight. On the Hita, we say dialogue and not confrontation. We say words and not bullets. In today's edition of the show, we will play host to Mr. Peterson Walker, former PMC boss of Nema County, will be our guest on the show here tonight. And of course, we're going to play a little emphasis to the Local Governance Act of Liberia and the operation of the PMC within the counties, with emphasis to Nema, because he served in Nema before as PMC chairman. So he's going to be telling us much more about how PMC work within the various counties in Liberia, with emphasis to Nema County. Mr. Peterson will be the guest on the show tonight. Hopefully, we'll be joined by him any moment from now for us to have a wonderful, wonderful conversation. But again, happenings in Liberia today, former President George Manawia was honorably named FIFA Players Voice Panel in Global Anti-Racism Push. So the former president of Liberia and former Ballon d'Or winner George Manawia has been appointed honorary captain of FIFA newly launched Players Voice Panel, a 16-member task force of football legend committee to tackling racism and discrimination across sport. So I would like to say congratulations to former president. We are on his newly appointed role. We are proud of you as Liberians. Also, with that too, a woman. If you guys been following Facebook recently, I think it was day before yesterday or yesterday, a lady we saw on the social media that she assaulted a girl. She cut off a little girl hand. So today, that 32-year-old woman has been formally charged with aggravated assault and child endangerment following a disturbing incident in New Georgia, Ghanaisville, that left a 10-year-old girl seriously injured. So she's been charged today with aggravated assault and child endangerment following that assault in New Georgia. President Joseph Yuman Boakai, today, Friday, during his cabinet meeting, he urges members of his cabinet to remain committed to improving the lively condition of Liberians despite criticism and challenges. He spoke today during the opening of the cabinet meeting under the theme delivering improved livelihoods for the people, a united cabinet response for economic performance, resilience, and recovery. President Waka reminded his cabinet officials that true public service requires sacrifices, integrity, and resilience. These plus many more stories here tonight we're going to be discussing for you on the show. We'd like to say welcome to all of you. Those of you watching us on Facebook, Sidiki, Tari watching us this evening. Sidiki, where you watching us from? Welcome to the show. Our CEO Alvin Seka is also following us from Indiana, USA. Welcome to the show this evening, CEO. Like we said in our intro, Mr. Peterson Walker, former PMC chairman of Nima County, will be our guest tonight on the show. It's going to be a fascinating one. We'll be discussing the Local Governance Act of 2018. And of course, we will also make emphasis to Nima County, how the PMC work. How do the PMC get to power? How many years do they serve for? And how do they work in the interest of their people? Again, we'd like to say welcome to all of you. 12 minutes past 8 o'clock in Liberia, 12 minutes past 10 o'clock in Rwanda, East Africa, 12 minutes past 3 o'clock in Minnesota, USA. George Miamen watching us this evening from Ganta City, Nema County. Georgie, welcome to the show this evening. It's a pleasure having you on here today. DK Way is trying to join us on the show. Again, folks, it's going to be a wonderful one. It's going to be a great show. DK, good evening and welcome to the show, Chief.
Hey, Bossman, how are you?
I'm doing great, Chief. How you doing?
What training today?
Well, President Joseph Human Boakai conveyed cabinet meeting. And in our meeting, when you listen to some of the tips and some of the things that Bobby was saying today, it tell you that most of the things that can be happening on Facebook, he sees them. He
Yeah,
knows
he
about
ain't said we had our cabinet retreat, which is good. But from there, he would take 200% to Japan. So what sense does it make? I support him, but you can't have cabinet retreat to address our bread and butter issue and still do the same thing. So sometimes, so Facebook. Other than that, I think the Nima Community College, the leadership, how that they want to appear, provide some clarity. One of them is actually pointed to me that they said I made a sweeping statement. So as institution, we have to give them the benefit, even though this weekend is actually jam-packed. So we promise them to come on Monday, so they are listening. They can come with their entire leadership. If need be, you can still reach out to the faculty that were here yesterday, the group that was represented yesterday. Which group is that? Okay, so the chairman of the faculty, you can reach out. Yes, you can reach out to that chairman of the faculty if you're waiting to come. I think Charles and Melvin Yelu. And I stand by what I say. Otherwise, they have to prove me wrong when they appear. Take for instance, when that the current UN president was before her nomination, there were a team set up to do a search. So people can just get position at our premier university as OB at one of our best, and they just appoint them because they came for NDR. Chai is an NDR person that contested and lost. Melvin Yedu is NDR person. So when they lost, our country should just be like NDR, Twin Johnson, Kun Koga, Nya Twanye, and Nya Flomo, and all the other lawmakers, Netagay, and all the other people, whatever party they come from, they control that. Even when you are qualified, they don't go out to look for qualified Ibadan to come and take care. So I stand by what I said. I said those guys are not qualified to be in that position they are in there because politically they were favored. There are a lot of qualified Nigerians around the world with 10-minute degree that can come and provide whatever they have to our people, including their expertise. There was no information sent out there to search for qualified Nigerians to come and occupy that position. We're talking about vice president for a university. You are in Kigali. When you're talking about a vice president for a university, and somebody, I don't know whether when somebody get master, they can just get any other position, you get master. What's the experience? So the university will be to what level it is now because there's no innovation. They're running the university because of favoritism and because they are politically connected. So I stand by what I said. We will give them the platform. They have to hold the money to come and clarify and tell us how they got appointed and XYZ. But this is my own statement. And I just want the best for Nima. All of us want the best for Nima. So whatever, they get some people who can drive car crazy. So that's it. Other than that, why on my mind again, I want to stress that I think I said it again. I think this would be like my national anthem that I will speak out to anybody, including Nima citizen, is the issue about paying Kabina Jana his money. Justice Jana is a son of Nima. He was illegally removed as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. He battled that. He just earned benefit, went to Equal Court. In fact, the current government described the action of the removal as illegal. So he challenged that to Equal Court. Because of that, he even supported this current administration. The court had ruled. The current government had refused to even sit with him to discuss what's the next plan for him. Even though, if you don't want to sit with him, pay him just benefit. You remove people from tenure position. You are set to order them. You don't want to pay Cabinet Janet. And I'm calling on the current Chief Justice, who is also a son of Nima, for order them to prevent the government to pay money. They need to pay Cabinet money. You don't pick someone like that. But you know what? Baga is taking care of all the other people and have refused to pay Cabinet money, which is wrong. So all of us should join and at least advocate for Cabinet to get his money. We can do it for any other Nigerian, but the treatment that the current administration or the minister are doing to Cabinet a brother, a son who is even providing his services to the public because I think he's a lecturer at a law school. He teaches at the AME Zion University on Benson Street and in Fall River. So the guy is still providing his services and expertise to the country, but he has been treated like an outside child, even though he worked for this and he was illegally removed. So why is the government withholding his benefit and his backup pay when you pay other people? So I think we need to talk about that. Other than that, I think our Nima superintendent is on fire. Since Representative Senator Koga said that, she has been reading a lot, some very insulting, some very abusive. I've been checking to see whether the women of Nima have called her to order so that because Koga said what he said as a senator, disagree with him professionally, but I think the invented have been too much while people are trying to settle whatever differences between Koga and the vice president. The superintendent is gaslighting the situation only because somebody say audit. And so I don't know what was the war in audit that she using all the other one. I know the other people that have social media platform and using it, they have the right. But you as the custodian of our money, you manages Nima Development Fund. So as a senator or whoever Nima citizen call for an audit, it should not bring that kind of our best what we are seeing. But anyway, it is why it is. So we are back here. It's our guest in the background, Chris. You look elegantly dressed. What's the occasion today? Joe, you seeing Chris? The way you have to don't be shouting over all the owe you in the morning. You do that, we'll put you in the back. We're very serious.
No problem,
I'm seeing crazy. He looks very, very great. But Ziggy, I beg to get to our guest that we have already started the show. Let him join us. We are not seeing him in the back. But again, Chris, welcome to the show this evening. Let's hear you what's on your mind, Chief.
Oh, thank you, John. Let me say good evening to my big brother DK. He spoke lengthily when I was listening to him about the issue of the superintendent Nimba. Uh, I don't want to say she been disrespectful to Senakuga, but the manner in which she going, I think the elders of Nimba needs to call her to order. I think the women group in Nimba needs to call her to order. You cannot be very respectful to the senator because he talked about audit. Why is the strange thing about audit getting vexed? Or it teaches you to do what you're doing, right? You the custodian, you the head of the country. So if you use our money that is intended for our development of the country, using it on maybe on things that will not satisfy the call for audit, I think it's pretty enough for her to speed up with it and give the audit to the Liberian people. Other people may think that, the Nima people think that maybe people she gave projects to, they haven't been able to do proper report to her. Other people think that way. Or she now went through the PPC law. Okay? You cannot use our money that intended for our country development on government projects. Then the send up of all it becomes issue. It be so disrespectful in addressing it on social media. I think the superintendent will slow down on it. And see how best she can do the report we talk about, or the country or the Nima people needs them. She have to do that and start going that far with maybe with the senator. And the next year, June, that will do else this issue, the University of Liberia school building. I then find closely the students at that institution. It is so frustrating the morning era we live in. You look at the state run university, see that school building. You live in Uganda. You've been seeing campuses in Uganda, still you university. Compared to what we have in Liberia. Look at that building. Look at the bathroom. Look at those areas, those guys were showing video these 3 days. Look at University of Liberia, right? It is that university institution that our Simbis goes to and sit and learn in that environment we have. What kind of shit is disgrace to us as Liberians? Is what God still university?
Thank you, Grace. Thank you. Our guest is already here. We'll come back to that. Let's deal with our guest, then we can go back to discuss those issues. Good evening and welcome to the show this evening. How you doing, Mr. Peterson?
Hi, good evening and good evening to everybody in radio line. I'm happy to be here, and thanks to every one of you guys for the tremendous work you do. And thanks to the management of this institution for bringing Zoge online. I know DK can be happy when hearing himself talking because the man from way behind there. So, so thank you so much, guys, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much for being here tonight. We are glad to have you on the show. You got more expertise on how the PMC work in Liberia, but more emphasis will be placed to Nima County because Nima receives separate kind of money. The county social development fund and that of the county development fund. These two different monies cause controversy within a county, how they are supposed to be used. Many people question themselves about it that county social development fund should be used like this, and a county development fund, which is from the government, should be used in this manner. But it's good having you on here. Before we go to the conversation, tell us a little introduction of yourself, where you hail from, your educational background, and then your full name.
Okay, so I'm happy to say I'm a Nibaeans. I'm a proud son of Nima. I hailed from Berige Started District, and I was reared in Glali, Nikwea Glali, and that's where my mother from. And right now I'm in Canada. I'm a licensed financial professional here in Canada and a business analyst. I work for the World Financial Group as marketing associate. Here in our community, I'm the chief financial officer for the Liberian Association in Canada. And also in the Nima County organization, and one of the proprietors and board members of the Nima County Association in Canada. Back in Liberia, I worked for like 10 years, let's say 6 years in the Nima County administration, starting from 2013, working, came in as controller, and with the late Clinton Leroy, I came as controller, and later 2015, I came as treasurer, and subsequently I left from Liberia 2019 as the project management committee chairperson. So for education, maybe academic wise, I hold masters in business administration in finance from the Cottington University, and as well the University of Liberia, the whole BScs of economics. So yes, so I think I have significant understanding of how the PMC operated in Liberia, especially during the earlier time we joined the county administration, up to the time I left, when the Local Government Act was introduced and was trying to be functional in the country. So yes, I think we can have a fine discussion to understand where we came from, where we are, and where we are going.
Thank you. It's good having you on here again. Folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to the Heat Tower here on BKS TV. And of course,
Jim,
our guest. Yes, sir.
your guessing didn't explain about your family, a religious background. Are you still
Oh,
an inland member? Are you still with the inland church?
sorry. So I am a married person with kids, and my wife from European Newtown, a beautiful Regina Walker, and I am a inline person. I'm a denominational person for the inline church, and so I worked for the inline church when I was in Liberia, and right now I'm a member of a local church here called Central Church in Calgary.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you very much. It's good having you on here again tonight. We really need to know about most of these things. So let's start from the PMC. How was this entire thing PMC? How did it came about, and what are their function or responsibilities in the counties?
Thank you so much. You know, I start listening or reading on Facebook some words back and forth on about what is happening now, why senator is calling for audits, why other people are accusing the superintendent but not making report, all of this stuff then going around. But first, we need to understand where we came from. The entire thing about county and social development funds, where we came from. What was the projection? What was the intention? Where we are going and where we are now. So Liberia, as we all know, the history of Liberia suffered from a prolonged civil crisis. And before that war could come to an end, there was a peace accord in Ghana. And from Ghana, there was peace in Liberia. Immediately 2005, there was election of a democratically elected official, came on board, Madam Salif, heading the government of Liberia, and she was inaugurated 2006. 2006, immediately, she was under obligation to perform good governance, to put policy infrastructure in place that will manage the war-torn country like Liberia at the time. And some of those key things were how the resources of the country will be adequately distributed across the country. Because before the peace accord, there was a thinking, what was the reason? What really caused the war in Liberia? What brought the war? So people start thinking about corruption. Corruption was the key thing that set Liberia back, and centralized power system of the country. These were the contributing factors. So Manuel Salif, in your early year 2007, they start to talk about concession agreements start coming into place. So the president thought that, you know what, we have to share some of those resources with the locals. And that is the development funds need to be sent to the counties so that the people can be part of decision making. And so the social development funds came to being. So that social development funds was from all companies that are extractive industry, that are mining industry, like iron ore, timber. These companies would be giving social development funds to the various counties that they are operating. So the government also said we have to back that up with 200,000. That would be county development funds. So the social development funds, the intention for that was to be used for local communities and to be able to undertake development that would directly impact the people. And that social development funds, there was a management committee put into place. I'm talking about 2007, coming towards 2010. A management system that was put into place, they call it DFC, Dedicated Funds Committee. A Dedicated Funds Committee purposely wrote the guideline how to use that social development funds. And our social development funds, key among many other things, that money should be used to impact people, the locals. And the locals should meet and make decisions as to what project they should do to impact them. So that money should not be used for any social activities. It was not intended for any fabulous governmental activities and what have you, but it was for the locals. So the county development funds was directly government contribution to local governors. So like the office of government functionaries, government infrastructure in the county, it was to enhance the operation of the local government. So that was it was backed by the budget law because it came from the budget. So it was backed by the budget law. So the budget law introduced what we call PMC. So PMC at the time was managing, that was from 2011 coming to 2012 between that. Let's say I'm talking about 2007, 9, 10 to 2011. So you have PMC managing the 200,000 separately. They were not, they were like meeting whenever the superintendent or whoever they want to do something in the county. They call them together, a 3-man committee will come and make decision on the 200,000 expenditure. That was the PMC. But the dedicated funds committee had to, to manage the social development funds, there was a vetting process, a competitive vetting process. You must apply, and there will be a vetting process, and people was appointed. After the vetting, people were appointed to manage the county social development funds. That was a project management, let's say project implementation unit. That was their name at the time. But then there were another back and forth noise about superintendents coming to the county who want to take absolute control over both the county's development fund and social development fund operation. And that started going, wide around Liberia, noise with PMC, project implementation unit and the PMC. So there were a lot of noise. So again, Manuel Salif and the governance body decided that, we have to introduce what we call the decentralization policy. So now the decentralization policy was introduced 2012, around January 5th, 2012. And that decentralization policy, it comes about with the LGA, the Local Government Acts. So from that point, they started to study how can they put this LGA or the decentralization into use. But then you have 2 things to be done. Before you bring in the decentralization policy to start working with the Local Government Act, you have to carry on legislation. So there was no legislation. So the first step, they decided to divide the process into two phases. The first phase is deconcentration, and the second phase is what? Devolution. So the devolution directly deal with the Local Government Act. The deconcentration aspect has to do with the administrative aspect of it that is in the purview of the president to make change administratively. So 2012, they said before the devolution, we need to merge these two, different funds and have one management team. That was the county social development funds and the county development funds. So that's when I came 2013. 2013, all counties were asked to carry on county setting to merge PIU and PMC to be managing these two funds together. So in Sanniquellie, 2013, April 22nd was when the election of PMC, the first election of PMC joining together was held. And I was I was privileged to have been elected as the project management committee controller. That's when I came on board. So I came now to, we started managing the SDF and the CDF, that is the County Social Development Funds and the County Development Funds. Now, but the law was still managing these funds. There are a lot of policy infrastructure that manages the activities, of the funds. So the laws for you have the PPCC law was still being observed. The DFC, that is the Dedicated Funds Committee law, was still being observed at the time. During PMC time was still being observed. And you have all of the Public Financial Management Act and every rules that has to do management of government funds were still being observed. So the PMC, at the time before you make decision, you need to construct your budget in a way to know which of the funds that is dealing with the social development aspect of the county and which funds is directly supporting the local government. So that was the time where there were other people who wouldn't understand how the construction needs to take place, and there was noise. And the PMC bosses and the superintendent started having problems. You can remember Clayton Leroy and Fonz Dogley had a serious problem when Fon came newly. Fon could not understand how the funds work. The superintendent wanted to use that money. And then Clayton Leroy had a problem. Something happened, and then Fon took a decision to Clayton from there. They went into that issue. The president said no. The law says these people should manage the fund. The superintendent hence is not on the funds. The PMC is supposed to manage the funds. So that was not legal. We had to pay Clinton. Similar thing happened in Bond County. The PMC chairman, I was in Bond County, had a serious problem with the lawmakers and the superintendent because the PMC chairman was still saying that the fund did not agree for superintendent to take absolute control of the expenditure. So they took the PMC chairman from there. He went to Supreme Court. He won a lot of money against the county. Again, it happened in Nima County when Eddie Tenwa again was removed. And then he went to court. So these things start happening. So the era until I came on board. So this thing happening. So what used to be happening? The expenditures. Every budget line that supports social development funds. What are those items that we consider social development funds? The social development funds are the school buildings in the community. You have a county council setting, and then people will suggest we want school to our area, or the amount will be appropriated as per the various district. Then the PMC will organize what we call district sitting. You go in the district and people converge and discuss what they want to spend their money on. Like in Yamin, people talk about school. Then you go to Blue Bay, Blodewy, you talk about school. You go to that kind of bridge. These are those social development funds activities in those regions. You go to like the Tapeta area, you will see the commissioner compound that has to do that. That's the local compounds. Then you will see how you call it, guest house built, breaches in the Vera community in Toa River, some youth center in the Booyah area. So these are the social development fund components of the social development funds expenditure. The county development funds then was like if you saw us paying like allowance, transportation, that's a gasoline coupon to the local chiefs. These are funding that help to sustain their movement around. That was supported from the county development funds. Like you see, the superintendent compounds maintenance and the local governance structure maintenance, the city mayor. These are the components of the county development funds because it's directly intended for that. So at the time for PMC, that's how the funding was working like. So it continued up to the time up to 2018. So at the time, it was deconcentration period. That deconcentration period was the president decided that, look, since we need this local government act to be passed into law before the devolution take place, the deconcentration aspect was to be able to give relief to the counties by sending those various service centers to those counties because everything was concentrated in Monrovia. So you saw service centers start coming to Nima County, going to Grand Judah, going to Grand Bassa, Bon County. So the central administration start to give some of those responsibility to the counties so that citizens can have relief and carry on some of those marriage certificates locally, ID cards, business licenses, and all of those stuff. You start doing it locally. That was the period of deconcentration. Now the devolution started immediately when the county, when the local government acts were passed into law. 2018 was the time that devolution, let's say the LGA was passed into law. Now, what are the components? How does it work within what I explained about the county and social development funds operation under the PMC? Now, coming to the LGA, how does it work? It's completely different. Everything is changed. Everything is changed. So if you are a policy maker and you don't go into that document, you will still live in the past. Because the way things are to be done now, as per the LGA, is not how it was, they were done as per the PMC days and stuff like that. So what is happening now? The LGA is strictly about establishing authority, local authorities in the county, in the district, in the city, in the in the various areas, in the communities. So the LGA, the intention of the LGA is to give power to the people. The people themselves should be able to make decisions on whatever they want to do. The office of the superintendent, that is the county administration. The county administration takes seats of every expenditure and projection of projects and what have you. Now, how projects are selected? The projects are selected through town hall meetings and stuff like that. After that town hall meeting, the citizens will be able to say, look, we want this project, we want to do this project. If you go into chapter 2 of the LGA, it tells you how you select your project. So projects will be selected through citizen participation. And when that project is selected, it goes back to the office of the development superintendent or the county development officer and the county administration. They will work cost the project and then make the budget, take it to the county council. The county council, that's the 9-man committee. And that's one of the committees that have real strong power when it comes to the local government. That committee holds the power that I would say before the lawmaker had. The committee is very, very strong on all the local government. So they will do all of the costing, make the budget, take it to the county council. The county council will have to do consultation with their people, be able to understand that, look, this is the development package we have, and everything they're supposed to do, that lawmakers supposed to do from the central office, coming to report to their various event, what have you, the county council has to do them. After that, they will go and concord or sign the budget, approve the budget for the superintendent to start working with. So the county council will approve the budget, and then the work will begin. There is nothing in the LGA that talk about the superintendent will either present the budget to the lawmakers or the caucus. No, nothing there. I've not seen it there. So that is how I work with the county administration and the county council. Now, the county council, let's say reporting line, hierarchy, how reporting will be done. Now, the superintendent or the office of the superintendent will report to the county council. So the role of the superintendent now is, after the development project or whatever is going on, the superintendent will report to the county council and the president of the country. So copy of the superintendent report to the president will go through the local government office at the Ministry of Internal Affairs. The county council will take that report now and maybe carry on and have some hearing with their cities, their various areas. So that's the county council work. Now, the Local Government Act had taken those responsibilities that I just named from the office of the lawmaker. What remains with the lawmaker is the oversight. For expediency, for smooth relationship, if a superintendent understands how local politics work, if you have your normal and legal reporting line, these things go on, you have to have some consultation and some maybe sharing with the lawmakers. Else, the lawmaker power is the oversight, and lawmaker can call for oversight in many ways. The local government Act did not specify what role the lawmaker should play in their oversight with the local community. So it says every laws that has to do with the country, the constitution of the country, regional agreements, international laws, the local government Act will subscribe to it and will respect every law that has to do with the country. That means functions to the lawmaker, their normal function still remains, and the county functions and the people participation for their development initiative still remain. So right now, that's where we are. Where are we going? The Local Government Act is, when they come to the LGA, is structured into period. Those periods, they call phase 1, 10 years period. The project is like a 10 years, a test period for 10 years. So the first 5 years, there will be policy infrastructure being put into place by the office of the superintendent, that is the county administration. In a district, they're going to make sure the commissioner, you have district council. Like you have county council, you need to have district council. The district council will be responsible to review the work of the commissioner. The commissioner is going to have report to them and also report to the superintendent. That's the district council. Township advisory council. The superintendent or the county administrator need to set up these people or these various infrastructure so that the reporting line and the working relationship can go smoothly. In the city council should be established as well. Okay, so besides that, there will be what we call a fiscal management board. Okay, that board will be like appointed by the president, but that's a national board. This national board will be like reviewing what is being done at the local government level. So they have direct relationship with the lawmaker, because every activities they see at the local government level, they can take it directly to the lawmaker, not to the legislature, not to the president, not to the how you call it, the minister. So the fiscal board, the county, the national fiscal board, that will be directly like supervising or let's say monitoring, making sure that things work well at the local government level, giving their report and what have you to the legislature. They have that direct relationship with the legislature. So right now, that's where we are, and we are going within the after this infrastructure building period of 5 years that is started from 2018. I don't know, 2018 to now. Is it 5 years now? 5 years gone, right? So now the next phase we in, it is considered that all of this infrastructure have been set up. If they have not been set up, then we are still behind. Now, some of those infrastructure that are supposed to be set up has to do with the support office of the county council. Now, the LGA is very clear about that. The county council needs to have 2 staff in their office. They need to have, each county council member needs to have 2 staff, need to have an office and 2 staff. These 2 staff, one had to be a legal person and another person, administrative officer, legal officer and administrative officer, because their responsibility will be, they will be making the local laws, they will be recommending some policy, they will be reviewing a lot of stuff, and they're going to be doing a lot of work. So the law assumes that not everybody will be very sophisticated to come to that office. So the civil servant need to recruit. They need to recruit 2 persons for each person, each county council member that will meet the requirement of civil service agency to serve these people in their offices. So that's how the system is working now. As it is, I see. Unless we say that there have been, because I'm not in NIMA, unless we say there have been no meeting with citizens to determine projects and what have you. But besides that, if these things are on course, I see the superintendent is on course, because every activity that is ongoing right now, as per the LGA, is just straight to the point that they are working with the county council. Unless county council come and tell us, say they have not signed any budget, they have not approved anything. But the county council needs to be on top of everything. They need to know what to do. They need to know that they cannot be intimidated. They need to know what is right to do before they do that or they do them. So that's it right now. And any question, maybe we can go deeper if we have any question.
Yes, sir. We got more questions for you. I will ask you 2 more questions. After that, we'll go to Chris, Madam Lorena, and then Mr. Matheson will take us home on the issue. This is from one of our followers on Facebook. He's asking whether you guys have any other, plans set aside after the projects have been implemented by the county administration for maintenance purposes.
Okay, so the question, I don't know if I get it right, if it is intended for PMC days or current. Because
both PMC, because PMC days and now the current administration, because during you guys' time, you guys undertook some project, and these people are also undertaking project. But information we are gathering is that most of the project doing your regime, like the hand pumps and stuff, they have all spoiled. And the county administration, the current county administration, is not going there to rebuild them or to reconstruct these things. So
okay,
that's why he's asking.
I get your point. Thank you so much. Like what we used to do, in fact, matter of fact, it was something that we use our own understanding of that we brought from other institutions to ensure that working in when we came to the office of the PMC, the first thing we got to know was the past county administration, or at the time of the county development funds separately operating, used to give contract to people, and there were many unfinished projects around. So what we decided was, you know what, we have to institute our own internal policy, like every contractor must pre-finance certain stage before we give you money. That was the first thing that we introduced. So when we introduced that, so the idea of unfinished project drastically reduced. In fact, there were no unfinished projects at the time we introduced that. Because everybody, you got to put like 40% or 45% of your money into the project, then we pay you 40%. So if you put 45%, we pay you 40%, you know your money is still there, you know, you are not going to tamper with that project. So we did those things, and then we were able to construct this project. Now, within that same plan, there were 10% remain after 3 months to assess whether that particular service is durable. If it is not durable, if maybe there was some collusion or some, you know, different thing happened, and reports were not, you know, did not capture the actual thing you did, that 10% will be taken to service that project. But according to government rules, after that 3 months, definitely you pay the person back if the project is still good. So maintenance, like into 6 months, 1 year plus, no, we did not have that. It is not on any law like that, besides the bigger project, like engineers who are doing a bigger role that we have maintenance plan for 2 years and what have you. Know that one is not that. That is where the local administration can come in. If these things happening now, if the government project is somewhere that maybe is going, you know, is getting dilapidated, they can recommend to the superintendent office for funds, petty cash, and what have you, to go and, you know, refurbish them.
Thank you so much. I will stop here for now. Let's welcome to the show Alfonso Wongba. Chris, let's hear your 2 questions to Mr. Peterson Walker this evening.
Thank you, John. Let me say good evening, President. How you doing?
I'm doing great. And you?
Let me say congratulations for your election in the Liberian community. I closely follow that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just have a few questions, but the first one have to do with when you were speaking about the county development fund, the social development fund, is where I have keen interest. And according to yourself, the reason for the county development fund for it impact across the county for the various district, the people will be, you know, to be impacted. So I have a concern because I hear from Tapeta, and I came from the very small town called Zia number 1. And over the years, some of the remote areas have been left out by the county administration. Sometimes even the general mission in Nima, they cry for that road to, you know, be paid for, to be help to the people in no way. So looking at your leadership in Nima and present, where the superintendent does all now in Nima, what could be your advice from your experience from the leadership and looking at things going on in the country? What could be your advice for the superintendent to follow that path so the entire 9 electoral district in Nima will impact, and some of those terms that have been left out or abandoned by the county leadership will feel the impact of the leadership? That will be the first question.
Thank you, Chris. So DFC create a model of management, funds management, that has to do with the impact at a rural level. That was the reason you saw all the counties start buying yellow machines. Because the question was, what can we actually do to impact these people? If you build one hemp pond in this town, the other people in that town may not have access to that hemp pond. If you build one bridge here, maybe other people on the other side may not. So what can we do? You saw Grand Gita went and bought yellow machines. You saw Bapuru went and bought yellow machines. You saw Bonkante went and bought yellow machines. And then the Nima leadership bought yellow machines. So at the time, the yellow machine was one of the medium through which the rural dwellers used to have access. I can remember when I joined the PMC 2013, the machine was granted. They were granted right to Tapeta and let's say Sacred PA, Toesta and other area. One other company were managing the machine, and so they were just charging NIMA. And some services that NIMAians or local Liberians could do, use to let's say give it to expatriate, come, they pay them fabulous, money. So we came into myself, get into it. Now, what happened at last was we started moving with the yellow machines. In Tapeta district, the yellow machine operation in NIMA was in various locations. People that were in NIMA from 2014, 2015, 2016 can attest to it. And unfortunately for us, we dealt with gravel roads that after doing them and 2-3 rainy season time, everything you did, would be wear away. So that was the unfortunate part of it. But if you were in NIMA, from that period I'm naming up to maybe early 2017, you will know that NIMA County Project Management Committee was very much on fire with the road condition. So in Tapeta, you saw the work we did in Tapeta when we were working in various cities, Sanikore cities, we work in Sanikore City, in Ganta City, in Campley, in all of those communities we work. We went to Tapeta. Tapeta district alone benefited a lot. And just imagine from the entire Towestown belt there connecting with Low Play coming to Ban, that road. Our intention that time was not to go on main road because why? The main road was intended for the government. So because of the connecting the local dwellers, we used to take the roads that our citizens mostly commute with, not the government road. So we passed beyond Low Play, they connected that, and then we entered B and Doru area. These are Tapeta statutory district. And Nima County is very large. So those districts will pass to those areas. So what I can say to the superintendent and other actors right now, they get their own development plan as per what the LGA says. But if it goes well, yellow machine come from anywhere is better. But I kept saying the yellow machine Nima has, it was under certain regime that could not release money for the repair and maintenance. Those machines were still in good condition when we left it. The outside, yellow machines outside is a complete different thing. That outside, you see that yellow machine is the engine. Yellow machine go for over 30, 35 years. People who do depreciation, people who go for those kind of period. So Nima County yellow machine at the time, it never even went for 15 years. But if you never have money to use the tires, the outside of it and what have you, it look very bad to people and what have you. So they can make some, available resources, conditions, the other machines that can be conditioned, the one that cannot be conditioned, you can do what you can do with it and make sure that NIMA roads are connected. Zia could be connected. We wanted to go to Zia, but coming from, B and Doru way. But we still long in B and Doru, we couldn't go to Zia. We couldn't pass to Zia because Zia is around going towards, Beretu way, right? Going towards Beretu way. So we couldn't branch to that end. It was the bridge that, Mr. Tingba did down there around Beretu area there. That's where we Gompa and myself went there first to see the road. That was the bridge we saw. So when we came from that place, time was nowhere now, there was no resources, we couldn't go to Zia. But really, we wanted to go to Zia to be able to backfill that bridge and what have you. So I'm saying that to say the superintendent should not absolutely forget about machines operation in the county. Because there are areas we brought road or we carried road to, there were no road. There were no road. A road is very essential to our development process. So we need to consider those things and work with it. And that's it. That's the basic thing that will impact those people. It's good. All of the infrastructure in the cities and what have you we're doing, they are very good. Make NIMA good, make NIMA very shiny and what have you. But your people will not know what is happening in Sanikore, what is happening in Ganta, what is happening anywhere. They know what is happening from Zia to Tapeta. That's where the people want to go. They want to carry the market to Gray. They didn't get time to come to Ganta. So how can they come with ease in those locations?
Okay, thank you, my last question will be on the Local Government Act. And I believe that you have prior experience on it right now as you spoke on it. And I just have this concern. Do you think that the Local Government Act have fully been implemented in Nimba, or it is just few portions of the Local Government Act certain authority have taken to utilize in Nimba, or it is the entire Local Government Act that have been implemented how to do it before city mayor to be a BSc or the list goes on? Do you think so? Thank you.
So they thought I'm not in Liberia, I'm not in Nimba to know whether these things are set up. Like I said, there are from Facebook and what I feel that I'm seeing. I know that it is not fully being implemented. The document is not fully in use. In fact, the entire country, not only Nimba, I think Nimba has gone even, I can say, significant percentage of setting up other structure. Now we're talking about at least they have tried to set up county council. But do we have staff in the county council office? Do they have offices? Because these people will go there and say yes to whatever the superintendent says when there is no technical person are telling them, say, before you do this, this is what the law says. You got a point. So that alone, if for us to go to the other, if the staff are real, they have offices and they get staff there, then that's one thing. When you get to the district level, do they get district council? Do they have a commissioner, township commissioner, advisory council? These are the components of those things we're talking about. Have they set up the National Fiscal Board for the local government act? They have not. If they have done it, then because if they have done it, the lawmakers will know who to reach out to. Because the Fiscal Management Board will be the direct people that will be recommending some other changes, recommending or saying something to the lawmaker. So the lawmaker had issue, they would know who to contact directly or who to speak to directly. But these places are still vacant. They try to set it up. And I think that we are behind the implementation of the LGA because the first 5 years was intended to set up this infrastructure. And then the second 5 years before we start testing those things and moving. We are behind, to be frank.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Peterson. Thank you for being here tonight. Let's go to you, Madam Lorena Ntonke. Let's hear your 2 questions.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to our viewers and listeners in Radio Land. And Mr. Walker, good evening. Nice seeing you.
Yeah, sure. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to be here.
So my first question, my questions will be practical. So the county, the Social Development Fund and the county development, the money from the budget, from the national budget, county development fund, the 2 money that goes to each county, or what is the intent of that money? Like what the county administration, what are they supposed to use that money for, and what they are not to use that money for?
So right now, yeah, I get your question clear.
Mm-hmm.
Since 2018 to now, there is nothing like county development fund and social development fund. Even if they are there is nothing a specific reason to use it for. Only the citizen would say, this is what we want it for. But before 2018, there were strict rules how to use this money. You get the point? Before 2018, when the LGA was not enacted as a law, we still used to distinguish the county development funds supposed to be used for community projects, for all of this, and then the social development funds used to be used for this. And we were like not doing any governmental project. The bigger funds would give to, let's say, the superintendent office to manage their office for $50,000. That was the biggest money we ever gave it to them. But it used to be like around $20,000 just to manage superintendent compound and something like that. So there was nothing like that given to them in huge sum to do anything. But the coming into being of the LGA changed everything. It changes everything from even the implementation aspect to the kind of a project you're supposed to select. Only the citizen, if the citizen agreed to select today, this money, we're going to pave the entire Ganta city, that's it. There is nothing like we have to do project in my hometown to do hemp pump and do this. No, nothing like that in the LGA. When you look at it, the funding, it says the financial, the funding aspect of it. So how will the local government get money? In that portion under the LGA is clear. They will get money from the money government gave them, the taxes they collect, the social development funds that the county, and I'll say companies working in the county give to them will comprise the sum of money the county will use. So there is nowhere to say, okay, this one should be used for this and this one should be used for this.
Thank you. Sis Lorena, if you are there, please turn on your camera and ask your last question.
So I hope you get the point, right? You are muted. Lorena?
You are muted. You are muted.
Okay. No.
Yeah, very clear, Mr. Walker. So because the whole argument or the whole talk about the county development fund, I mean the county, the local government act rather, is because of one person. I would say that. I know people will be afraid to say, or people will want to be diplomatic, because people feel the current Nema County superintendent is doing too much, and they feel that most of the things, most of the projects being undertaken by the county administration are not to be undertaken by the county, because they consider to be the national project. For example, renovating or building of commissioner compounds, civil compound. So you who have worked with the county administration before, and you who were there before the birth of the LGA, I just want you to tell me whether those things you're doing, like, develop infrastructure across the county, whether they are outside of her band as a superintendent or outside of them as county administration.
Okay, thank you so much. I did not directly, I have not come directly to talk about if she's doing wrong or she's doing right. But what I can tell you is the LGA did not specify what to be done with that money. But the LGA specified that the development of the county will be done by the county local government. It's clear. The infrastructure, everything that will be done in the county will be done by the county local government. But the process will be through town hall meeting, city hall meeting, community meeting, for citizens to be part of the process. That is what the LGA says. But there is no specific project outlined that this project will be for national. The only area that the LGA clearly talked about was like the economic activity, like rubber funding from rubber and what have you will be managed by the national how you call it, government. Security going to be managed by national government. But the local development and everything is going to be done by the county administration, the county government. But if something is happening and it's not going right, that citizens or anybody think about it, who are they going to get to? The county council. The county council has the authority to tell the superintendent, oh, you know what? We agree that this thing will be good for our county, but we think this money should be used for this one. We are not ready to sign to approve this. The county council can say that. And the superintendent has to do that. Because if the county council agree with that development initiative, they sign the budget, the superintendent cannot go back. She will definitely go ahead and do what she wants to do. So it's everything is with the county council to approve the development plan, and then that development plan will be taken.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Mr. Matheson, let's hear you.
Well, thank you. Chair.
Yes, sir. I'm a boss man. I'm doing good.
Well, I think I really want to ask a question, but I will have just a couple of things to say. Or maybe I will ask. The thing about justification or justifying on behalf of people we have association or relationship with when they are in authority, I think it's one of the things that has gotten Liberia to be where it is. We have to be, we have to be very practical. We have to be pragmatic. We have to face people and issues as we should, because beyond our individual connection lies the future of our community, our country, our children, and everything. And the sad thing about playing the devil's advocate is that after the period of 6 years, which is our golden cycle, when different government takes over, that individual leaves, and the very people who sing in praises are the ones who are left to live in the reins. So we have to be very practical, very factual. Now, the usage of the social development fund in the county, I have believed it's never been sustainable. For the fact that it comes from a depletable source, and many of or the source that is producing the resources comes with its own, environmental hazard that can be expressed in disability adjusted life years. We speak to health, we speak to life expectancy, and everything in between. Means we have to be conscious when it comes to how we used our money. We talk about project like Chair alluded to it in his exposition. When you're doing rough roads, after one rainy season, 2 rainy seasons, the whole thing is eroded. It's a resource lost. At a particular time, it looks like a development. But with time, it becomes a burden. We are learned that when we're in student leadership and advocacy, encyclopedia, when they were talking about the purchasing of the yellow machine, we thought it was not, a wise use of our resources.
Right.
Over time, we've got to lose millions of dollars because those machines are in the rings.
Yep.
Now, to make it usable again, you'll be spending a whole lot of money, which comes from the future of our children. And so that is wrong. You're talking about rehabilitating communal compounds that was built yesterday with the same money. And we say the superintendent is doing a lot, he's doing so much. What is so much? So the definition and the way we elevate some of these things, I feel it's a disservice to us as a people. Because in just 1-2 years, we got nothing to fall on. So my question then is, Chair, I have always wanted the government money or government's allocation, which is the county development budget, and that of the county social development budget. I have always advocated that that amount should be disaggregated. The one for the allotment by central government that goes to every county across Liberia. That one can be managed by the superintendent who represents the political interest of the appointing authority, and the NIMA's money, that borders on the life and health of children and those unborn, especially when you are in the immediate project community. Those of us who comes from the background of environmental study, noise pollution, noise, when it passes certain dBA, it becomes very hazardous. And so we talk about blasting in the AML area. Immediate community, the Bapa, the Zolowi, those communities, you're talking about miscarriages, you're talking about stillbirth, you're talking about a whole lot of health consequences that comes along with some of those operations. So I have advocated and continue to say, even when I was in office as development superintendent, that the money should be disaggregated. And the county's portion should be managed by experts who are Namibians, who will brief the future, who will brave the future and take future into account and come up with a comprehensive development roadmap that is sustainable. Because one thing that you must capture when you're talking development is sustainability. Sure. That is sustainable. So now you have worked over the years, and I'm fortunate to work with you. And I can always say you represent one of the cream of our society, working with you, working with Moses Medi, working with people like Gompa or Sondu Dan. I have always considered it a blessing because I was in the midst of, hard-thinking professional people. Now, given your experience as an actor, now sitting on the sidelines, what do you think about this aggregation?
The prospective lawmaker of the Trinitarian say asking question or he giving history if we ask question.
Good that you say prospective lawmaker, so the lawmaker.
Because
so
the brother just coming up, coming down, coming left.
No, yeah. I'm not going left and right. I'm very direct and to the point.
He was making a point, and
I just trying to give detailed background based on my understanding,
exactly,
and based on some of the things we risk. Yeah, based on some of the things we risk, because you can see bomb mounds, you can see bombing hills. Those are bombing holes. The people are left to suffer the consequences. Same is coming to Nimba. Lanco left, and if you are privileged to go to Sweden and see the stockpile of the iron ore that Lanco took, is there. It has become tourist attraction guarded by Swedish military while the holes remains in Yekipa. These are some of the frustrations that I'm trying to speak out based on my experience. So Chair, be an actor. What would you think about this aggregating the form? The one for central government goes to politicians, let them manage it. The one from our county, our mountain comes to, policy-driven, finest brains of our community who will think tend to develop us a model that will be very much business in nature. What do you think?
So yes, thank you so much. Your analysis. This is what every one of us, especially those of us who that were having the privilege to work in the local government, environment, looking at what really is supposed to be, and it is not happening because of maybe political favoritism and stuff like that. It becomes a problem. When I went through the LGA, I have my own problem. As really from business analysis point of view, there are problems that the country, the various community face. Those problems are not addressed by the LGA. And such problem is exactly like you said. Apparently, and when I was thinking that way, it came to my mind that they were thinking that the superintendent and the fiscal management board going to do another policy document to guide these things. So the LGA did not go in depth. So I understand from my own technical point of view, I understand from their perspective that they were generic and not being so specific to make the document so voluminous. So they were like, giving the basis so that those people, like for example, the superintendent is not a politician or is not thinking about political future to effect projects that will promote her political ambition for 2, 3, 5 years to come. The superintendent can do much better and develop any county for that matter. Looking at the LGA, because the power that the LGA are giving to the superintendent right now, and the power is given to superintendent then, especially superintendent who may not be thinking about political thinking. And I can tell you, somebody like Fonso, you are not thinking about politics. I can mention that clearly. You are not thinking about politics. So he was acting straight. In fact, he would jail some Nibayans and what have you, whenever they're doing wrong. He would talk to them and what have you. So I'm saying that to say the LGA did not address the kind of cardinal things. But I think, in my wisdom, they want a superintendent office to come up with a policy manual that will govern the county. She needs to do that, regardless of whatever, and be able to clearly define the resources, how you're going to work with. Besides that, the Fiscal Management Board, for the National Fiscal Management Board, they need to be thinking ahead of everybody and be able to see that these things are cardinal. The county council needs to be thinking, because they are responsible to come up with these suggestions to make these laws, to be able to how to spend those money. The county council needs to come up with something. Okay, so these people, when they come up with these things, it will work. But now, as it is, in my opinion, yes, we need to clearly define them. But if we don't, again, it's going to end into political noise. Because I can tell you, political noise, when the superintendent starts, when gossip start coming out, the superintendent want to contest and what have you, the lawmaker will join into everything, and it's going to be a problem. That's the problem we have had over time. And you saw what happened during the past superintendent. Like, I can say, I don't want to talk about Nima. As Sano, the county development funds make our man popular right there, and he just beat the senator, and he became senator.
Yeah.
And when he went to the parliament, he was still like that particular something was behind GST and all stuff came. Because what? When the principal actors is thinking about politics, development will not be decentralized. It's going to be centralized to a strategic area that will shine their political future. Definitely, that's what it will do. So again, I agree with you. You are right. Professional people need to be part of it. Or we can revisit the law and get clear definition of who become county council members. Because as it is with the county council member, I tell you, we have some people with no disrespect to anybody. We have some people who they will be talking about $1,000. You are not managed a certain level of resources before to be able to diversify the investment stuff, to know the laws are behind and what have you. The person is a county council person. I'm not talking about Nima. Nima is sophisticated, that people that come on board will always be knowledgeable. But I'm talking about other counties from back there. But if you have such a people sitting down there, you think what's going to happen? Superintendent will come with people and say, hey, sign here, sign here, sign here. And they sign. And they will be gone. So there will be nothing going on. And Liberia are going to be from 6 to 7 similar way. So they have to revisit that law and put some recommendation like qualification criteria into that county council recommendation. Anybody that is coming as county council person must be like this. And the whole thing, you don't have to be sitting down in San Nicolas. You can even work in different areas and still still be a council member and come there. Some of our mothers, many of them are there contesting and want to be represented. Why can't you start right in Sanikole on that council to be able to direct the course of our development? So these people, if you don't have sophisticated people on that board, definitely the resources we're talking about, you can't stop the superintendent. Unless the president want to change her, you cannot, because the law back her in everything she's doing right now. Everything she want to do, she's right, because what the law says, do it like this. She go ahead and carry on what she wants to do. Nobody can do anything. But noise, politicians get their way to get you anyway. Don't get me wrong. I don't care, you're right, politicians get their way to get you.
I think that's you just touched some of the very important issue that poses fear, for which the NEMA money, there must be a safeguard mechanism that will ensure the protection of the money. Because now, and that's where I personally have problem with the LGA. That LGA is giving some level of autonomy to the office of the superintendent. But the unfortunate thing here is you have autonomy to manage our money, but your allegiance is to the appointing authority. That's a conflict right there.
Yeah,
that's a conflict.
Sure.
Because if the superintendent decides, okay, the presidential panel has to be moderated, whose panel is that? The president.
Yep.
Why the moderation must come from the money that's supposed to account for the future of our children? What significant bearing that moderation has? So it's a conflict.
Yep.
You only want to please your appointing power so that when he or she is piloting in a county, he or she must have a very decent place to sleep to befit the status. Now, their presidential project, I think Eden had similar problem in the NEMA 2010, Independence Day celebration.
Yes, sure.
So we are saying that without any vested interest or hatred for the current authority. No, I personally respect the current superintendent because she's knowledgeable and she's well educated. Sure. And I can always say she could be an opportunity for the county. So if you want that level of autonomy, why don't we be fronting for federation? That one we elect you as our governor. The mantle of leading or taking charge of our development from all fronts is within the votes that we're giving you, that mandate. And if you misuse it, we go back to the ballot and take it from you or call for your impeachment. But here is somebody who's managing or somebody's money who's been appointed by somebody else.
That's it.
That's one. The second thing is the legislature has been a home or a place where corrupt officials has. The case with Maggie, the case with the very Milton TJ you're talking about, misuse the Sano County development money and use it to his own political benefits.
Yes, political benefits.
And afterwards, he was elected. And once you are elected and you are in the house, it becomes an immunity for you. Yeah. We can see Maggie then. Saleh is the chair on education, a vital component of the country.
Yeah.
And then somebody can tell me why the education system is not functioning. These are some of the things. So we need to be very frank. We made a mistake with the scrap. It entered into noise. And when the president knew that That scrap represent a better resources for the county. The second, gets it and brought in SETI and took off on North Star. We did not benefit anything. Now the noise is in the county. And I wonder why they can't even audit it.
Okay, they ask you Greg to be senator and like what else now?
So we are saying it without any hatred for the superintendent. For me, I want her to succeed because she's one of the most beautiful daughters of Nimba. Beautiful, not in the sense of physical, but she's a material. She's a material. But to do something that will be impeding on your reputation and character tomorrow, that's where some of us can be afraid. So I will always maintain, separate the two funding. Let the superintendent, who is the vice jury of the president, manage the central resources that are coming from the president, that are coming from the government. And NIMA's money must have NIMA's manager. That's the only thing I want to contribute. Thank you again for your exposition. I think you represent experience when it comes to that, and I'm happy. You have my right hand salute.
Thank you so much. Just a little statement to that. Thank you so much. This man, the former development superintendent and former student leader. So when they hear small thing that I can really bother in here. So live that Martin calling. So thank you. But this is said, okay. You have policymakers have made certain things, they already get the document. Our lawmakers went ahead and just passed it into law. I don't know if they have people that dedicated their time to go in depth and understand what all of these clauses and all of these things will come up with before they sign it into law. And now where we are is the superintendent is taking everything to do what she can do. The trump card that the county has is the county council. I keep stressing on county council because if you have a well-experienced and educated, knowledgeable people on that county council, the superintendent will not have a free ride. It cannot happen. For example, I can say that when Ellis was wanting to be on our council, Ellis was there. Had Ellis remained there, and you have other radicals to be there on that county council, the superintendent will not have any free ride. The superintendent will definitely go through what they're supposed to go through to get it done. If it is not something that meeting the satisfaction of the citizen, definitely it will not be approved. And when it's not approved, she will not carry on anything. So again, that's the structure from central government to try to bring it to the local level. But it is still because we are on a unitary state. So indeed, we are now on a federal level. We have county council that is that the function is directly like the lawmaker who's supposed to make the superintendent and make sure that she's doing the right thing. So again, the county council must be revisited, and their responsibility, their qualification need to be revisited to get knowledgeable people on that team to be able to draft our development agenda for the county.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peterson. Thank you for being here tonight. DK, Way, take us home. You got any question to ask our guest? If yes, take us
is
home.
he leaving? Is he leaving? He's here for 2 hours. Why are you letting him to go now? Peterson,
Yeah,
you leaving?
I'm not going anywhere. We can discuss. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Peterson not leaving now because Peterson have yeah. Okay. Anyway, Peterson, sorry, I was leaving campus and back and forth. You saw me. So I would do my mind at this. I know you work as a PNC chair for NIMA for a long time. I know you very well. Is there anything that you guys, when you guys were working in the PNC, you guys were with any of the NIMA lawmakers that current or past that were the hair of Susu in the county administration?
Not when we were there.
I don't know. I don't even know why you got Susu working with Susu lawmaker, because there's nothing like Susu in the county administration, in the governance circle. If you have Susu, there's somebody making their business somewhere else, and then they can put money together and give it to somebody else. That is it. But we did not work with Susu Pa, Susu Ma, and anybody like that. No.
So I know you were in the PSC. You didn't work with Susu Pa, Susu Ma.
No.
You work with so many superintendents. Were any of the superintendent heading a Susu club, dividing money or giving money publicly or privately to lawmakers or whoever that they did within the county administration?
No. I work with like 3 superintendents. I work with Christian Dagadu, the most scariest and most peaceful superintendent who does not like any noise. Christian Dagadu. Very, very much peaceful. She's not like that. I work with Fons Zwagle. From the beginning, it was not easy. It was serious battle. But when he got to understand how the local government worked, he became submissive and we start working together. He did not hear any Susu. I worked with Doc Cooper. In fact, Fons Zwagle, it was Fons Zwagle regime where Nima was recognized as the best performing county by the PPCC under Fons Zwagle, from the leadership that he instituted and how we work with him. Doc Cooper, it was under our regime. Doc Cooper, the development superintendent, Doc Cooper won a title as African Child for Development in Liberia by Eddie Jones Salih. He was chosen, he was awarded that stuff. Doc Cooper never had any Susu association. I can't speak for Nelson Kwekwe because I was not in his regime. So apparently, maybe you can invite Harris Yenemi, who was the then PMC chairperson, to maybe give his own side of it. Maybe work with any superintendent that was a Susupa. From that angle, I can't speak much to it, but those 3 superintendents I work with, we had our disagreement and serious disagreement. Even the vice president himself, he can attest to it. Sometimes there was some serious heated argument, heated stuff between Doc Cooper and myself. He is the one that even came to my rescue at a certain time. You know, this thing, nobody heard it outside because why? We understood what we were doing. We went for it and we were committed to peace in the county. So yes, so superintendent, you will not agree with that person, but it's not based on because maybe Susu activities.
Question, I think Marcus served as development superintendent.
Yeah.
The goal is, this is outside of politics. Whoever serve our counties as superintendent that manages our money, they need to be accountable to us.
Yeah.
Whether you have the backing of Joseph Jenkins Rabo, Joe Biden, Joe Barker, and Trump, you are accountable to us. Professionally, whatever way somebody want to tell me, it's up to them. You are accountable to us. Though the president appointed you, you report to the president, but you manage our money, our resources. This is not somebody's personal money. So when people call for audit and we're hearing Susu Pa, Susu this, meaning the person who is alleging that may have knowledge of that. So that what I base my argument on, this is not personal against anybody. My last thing is, yes, how often the county administration and the county funding, whether for central government or the one Meta is given to the county, how often you guys were audited?
Okay, so yeah, before I go to that point, if I don't know, I'm not familiar with the superintendent to know if you make any comment about Susupa business. But right now, everything is here. Maybe she's looking at the audit report and saying that thing, I can't preempt it, or I can't predict that. If at all she said that. So there are a lot of instruments in the hands of the authority. If she would say that, then maybe she has some maybe documentation that is proving that maybe the person was also passed to. So that one that maybe it is politics or whatever statement, or maybe she want to throw words to, if at all she ever said that, maybe it could be that. But I don't know about that now. Let me go to that audit stuff. When I joined the PMC, 3 months, in fact, we never took office because April 27, March, we were not in office. We're still trying to find our office. March, April, May, June. It was June we took office. 2003 June. June 15, something like that, the auditor sent engagement letter. I just got an office.
My man, you now took over 2000, you said 2013 or 2003?
I said 2013.
Oh, we got to go on to 2003.
Oh, no, I said 2013, June. We started. So engagement letter from GSC came. Nothing I knew about the office, but as God would have it, I just came from an institution that I was there as finance manager. So I had to put NEMA record together, make report and make sense of it, and they audited. The audit report is right to GSA website from that period. The second audit was internal auditors. Let's say from that time, 3 different internal audit review took place. But the one that was a little bit, intensive was internal auditor from MIA. MIA came headed by Fokpa Robert. They did their audit and did financial review, gave their recommendation, all the projects we did. So that was the second. The third audit was another, operational review done by both MIA team and some people from GSC came and took some information. They like this. The fourth audit was, I think this one audit, the report has not come out yet. So the government institution always have auditors. But again, people will also say audit. In the financial term, in the financial language, there are many types of audits. So if you go in for financial statement audit, you may not get anybody doing any wrong thing. Because you know why? People who are at the financial level, they are so expert. They are expert in going with whatever is happening, whatever the law says they should go by, they are going by it. So you're not going to get anything out of them. Financial statement audit, many times, they can be, correct. But auditor will always have something to say about it anyway. Is that policeman come and grab a taxi driver, look at you and say, but why you running like this? So auditors will always have something. The next audit that always, many times administration can fall into it is like operational audit and compliance audit. Operational audit is what we're talking about. This is the operational issue we're talking about here. It's not about financial mismanagement here yet. Because the process may be good. The superintendent does everything right. Did all of the document, the development planning, people sign, everything will go right. But the operation, the execution of that can be another problem. Maybe she had oversight. These are areas when people like internal auditor do financial review, independent financial review, independent operational review, they can say, no, can you correct this? This is not right. This is not right. So yeah, audits went on, but it depends the type of audit. But financial statement audit 2 times. The first time, and this is the second one. Are you get a point?
You don't? Sorry, somebody calling me, so I had to call them back.
Yeah.
So there have been audits. Yeah, thank you. I done with that NEMA wahala. Whatever you're doing, NEMA with your money, that's your business. But lastly, what is your relationship with the current administration? Do you support the current administration, or you stay harboring the ambition to contest in District 4? That was your plan before you left Liberia.
Hey, no. District 4, No, I want to contest in District 5, not District 4.
District 5 just had new lawmakers, so okay, all chance to brief.
I just get it. Look, DK, not only the House of Representatives people can serve. For me, it's not only in the House of Representatives people can serve. If I have the opportunity to serve there, that would be opportunity. But it's not my intention. It's not my prayer. It's not my daily thinking. I'm not just yamming for just to go there and do this and what have you. Because there are a lot of frustration, especially.
Are you afraid because you are Prince from the same town and Prince is having the ambition? You don't want to go against the vice president chief of officer?
Come on, I'm not afraid of Prince Boo, and Prince Boo is my brother. In fact, Prince Boo tell me, say, big brother, you're going, so don't go there. I will not go there. If I tell Prince to forget it, don't do it, he will not do it. So I'm not afraid to go into anything that Prince is in. But what I'm saying is there are a lot of ways that we can support the country or the county. When I served as PMC, I did what I could. We left some legacy. I know not everybody was on our side, and we were doing some other stuff. Not everybody liked what we did, but we did those things when we were sitting and knew that they were the best thing to do to solve some problem. We did them. So if we have the opportunity to serve our country, we can serve our country anywhere, but it can be by all costs I should be a lawmaker, then I serve Liberia. No.
Thank you. Joe, last question, or as you read my case.
No, you can ask your last question, then we can go to Chris if you got any other question to ask.
So can you grade the superintendent you serve honor up to the current superintendent? What would be your grade for those superintendents? Just grade them. Be sincere. Don't be afraid you in Canada. Nobody will harm you. Yeah, you know that brother people they will say, "Oh, what to your heart."
GK, I'm not afraid of being like myself for me to grade somebody.
Yeah, that you know that man, Mabasi always careful. When Mabasi have information to give you, he careful. And we don't want people that so we can open up, we will protect you.
And Claire, let me tell you something. When the development superintendent or county development officer came to Canada, I reached out to him. We had a meeting with him. I told him directly what was going, that they need to revisit their strategy. I told them that their development plan is not strategic to place a NEMA. It's not at all. In a much, for me, I knew where they were coming from.
Can you be specific? Can you be specific, please?
I mean, I'm talking. I'm laying.
We interview you. You're not doing your heart yet. We interview you. So answer us. Yeah, be specific.
I said, and you listen to two things, DK. I said when the development superintendent came here, I told him they need to revisit their development plan because there are things they're doing that the locals will not agree with them. For example, it's good to beautify our cities, our areas, but we with the economics, when you say economics efficiency, it is not making an area better at the detriment of other area. You will not achieve efficiency. Efficiency is available resources being distributed equally to impact similar thing at the same time. Then you make it good use.
Yes, we want where in Nima they are beautifying and they are neglecting the other places. That was be specific.
I am here. What I heard is Sanikore is better. They use more money and face Sanikore. Two, they build welcome gate and beautify the how you call it, the bridge. I'm not the bridge, the Sokopa area. That's another area. And indeed, our chiefs and elders who always go there and wait for people, they need some other area. I also learned that they're trying to they are building some school in Ban. They're doing some area in Ban. It's another area. And Campley also, I think they're doing something in Campley or something like that. In Tapeta also, this.
I'm not trying to be school in Ban. Joe, be school in Ban. It's a cool be school in Ban. Then I'm in a school they be in Ban.
DK, you and myself right here, right? These are information I hear from people, and I'm telling you, these are those things in my honest advice was, I told the development superintendent, they need to look in the rural areas. You got a development superintendent myself, where my mother from, he from right behind me there. There's no road. In fact, when I got in Glady at the time with yellow machine, I had some people out there that from behind there. They said, my man, you got to come with the road. And by that time, there was no fuel. I was so much embarrassed because these are people that I grew up in their hands. They were telling me, you can't come with machine here. You can't reach to Gameplay and go to Camplay. But I couldn't do it because why? There was no fuel. So I'm saying that to say they cannot concentrate at the urban area. If you do that, you won't mind the true picture of what we elected Joseph Parker. Because what? People want to feed some people in Glady, people in Berkeley. They elected, and at least thank God, my man Prince Boy and federal person from there, they always carry yellow machine towards Berkeley way. So thank God for that. But what's about people in Glady? That DK here, maybe quarter one, that road going to be better. But I'm saying that to say they need to check, they need to visit those places. We in Doru, one of the places that was
lastly, before I leave you, lastly, so you are saying the development superintendent or NIMA had neglected probably a whole district, and they are focusing on painting building on the street in San Nicolas. But what he says yellow machine didn't go Gameplay, didn't go Pabli, it didn't go to Zodru.
He was not there. I was there. I'm saying that I had a team.
So have they carried yellow machine in no places you met with him? Be clear. Why are you acting like you're afraid?
He told me he's going to work. What are you saying? The guy, the big brother said it's something they're going to look at it. They're going to work with it. They're going to see what to do. But in fact, he is advising the superintendent that he should try to reach to those places. And that is much, welcoming. He can't do anything. Like our time, even though we never had a spending power like this particular county administration, but there were yellow machines, and whatever we had, we used to go behind it. But for them, the spending power is there, but the machine has some challenges. So these things, they got to take their own time to work with it.
Thank you, Jay. I think I'm done. I just read the message. My brother.
If you want me to grade them, I can tell that they just started. From what I've seen, I can grade them 70%.
Thank you, Chief Chris. We're going to give you the chance to ask one question and one question only. And we go to Madam Lorena to ask her one question so that we can have our post-analysis and let it get to go. Let's hear you, Chris.
Thank you, Gio. Let me say thank you to Big Brother for his time here. When you were talking about all the time about the law of the Local Government Act, I was just reading on it right now, and I think there are a lot of mistakes that those who crafted those laws, they were not thinking beyond the bars. They were just copying directly from the Western world, from America, bring it to Liberia. And I believe that councilmen have to be elected so they can have independent decision making. So to my big brother, you were there when Tico Yode was in our place. And he was one of those development superintendent or tough talker in Nimba that went local here with the Nimba County leadership for a couple of times before he was removed from his position. Looking at the current leadership in Nimba, do you think we have people in the county leadership who can stand up to say this thing is wrong and I'm not going to sign it? I'm not going to abide by it. Do you think with this current leadership in Nimba, do you think there are people who can stand up to that cause? Thank you.
So all those people that I'm seeing in Nimba right now, they are so soft people. They are professional and soft people. They are not rigid people that Tico you mentioned. All those people that are in the county administration, the only rigid person I see there is the superintendent. Maybe because of her upbringing and maybe what she has done before and what have you. But these people I'm seeing, they are much, much more administrative and keep in their professional circle. And their goal had been, and when I spoke to a few of them, their goal had been how to support the cause of everything that is happening so that they can achieve unity in NEMA. Nobody is like wanting to be radical. Nobody is like wanting to say to be an opposing force. No, not like that. So again, I would just say that the best way to do things is whenever you have to do the right thing, if you can do it the best way, that's the best way to do it. People should not tell you, or you should not doing something to make people to know that you're doing something. Know that you're doing something that is right to do. So those people there, they are choosing to be like people who will support the administration of the management, I mean, of the superintendent, and that which is fine. If it's not their business to oppose the superintendent, because the superintendent is performing their interests. Those that will have problem with the superintendent, those that feel that superintendent is not performing in their interest. These are like the county council. The people that you got to be talking to are the county council. What are they doing? How many developments something they have approved? What are they doing? It's not a superintendent office. For me, I mean, if you can get the point I'm making, clearly the superintendent and her code officer, they are like working with the LGA and clearly moving on. The county council need to act according to how you guys or does the citizen want them to act.
Thank you very much for being here tonight, Mr. Peterson Walker. Thank you for your time on the show. Mr. Matheson, you got any follow-up question?
Well, I just want to say something to the question I was just asked. And the response she gave, I just don't want to agree to the use of word soft. Being professional is different from being soft. And if you look at people and their approach towards things, it will not just be the same. Tico is a career politician. Mavasi is an environmental engineer. Mavasi is a natural resource management expert who deals with technical issues from a more technical point of view. So Mavasi's approach to things will be very different from someone whose orientation, professional orientation, and professional bargaining mechanism is different. But let's look at how being strong or aggressive can lead people. When you are in a workplace, especially in those kind of portfolio, it requires high-level professionalism, high-level confidentiality. These agreements should be, within, or it should be channeled through an appropriate, mechanism. Like Chair would say, we have a lot of this agreement at the time we're in office. And there were things that I felt was not in line with my professional understanding, my reputation, my integrity. I opposed to it, and I distanced myself in a way that if you follow the record will speak for itself. But did I come in public to, announce my disagreement? No. Because I feel the channel that was available to me, the mechanism, I exhausted it. And I'm okay with it. So everybody will not be combative. Everybody will not be, very aggressive when it comes to response to issues. And that's where most of the time we get it wrong. If you are not too much talking poison, people tend to overlook your own professional stance on issues. Yeah. And people tend to regard you as not being an intellectual. But when you take the word intellectual into context, it didn't talk about being combative. So I will not see those people being regarded as being soft. They are professional people who have a chance to do a professional piece of job, and every job got its own, way of channeling things. So they could speak things out, their disagreement out. They could know they and put it on the docket without making any sound. But tomorrow, when you go to cross-check, the facts will speak for itself. And that's the way I see it. But it's again good to be like to use the Tico Star. As a matter of fact, he's one of the brothers that I respect 100%. I love 100%. I'm proud of him 100%. But I just want to make that little note so as not to sound so condescending or degrading to our authority. No, the approaches will be different based on different, backgrounds and different way of upbringing. That's how I see it.
Thank you so much.
Let me say short thing, Jim. Thank you so much, I was saying. When I spoke of being soft, and I said they are professional people, they try to approach something a different way. Like all of these people over there, I think 2 persons I didn't work with. But I knew them, I didn't work with them. I didn't have the opportunity to work with. Like the current county administrative officer, this is the woman, he was commissioner at the time, but he will call you and advise you and tell you, look, my son, don't do that. I'm talking about Commissioner Sekwe. He is the current county. So the level of knowledge, the wealth of wisdom they carry to those jobs, it will present itself in a different manner. They are not somebody that will like take that kind of a wrestling stuff. They will want to always do something in a professional way and calm it down. That's what I was talking about. But all of them, like I have an opportunity to talk to the development soup. I have an opportunity to talk to the finance officer. They are all professional people. I can tell you that.
Thank you. Madam Lorena, let's give you the opportunity to ask one question. And to Mr. Peterson, that one question we wanted to combine it with your parting comment. And we want to say thank you for being here tonight on the show. Madam Lorena, let's hear you.
Are you there, Lorena?
I think Lorena never giving problem tonight.
I think so. DK back, if anything.
Madam Lorena, are you there?
Want me to ask a question?
Yeah, if you got a question, you can ask. If you don't have, then you just wait for the post analysis.
Okay, so Mr. Wakasu was explaining
Wow, she's her network giving problems. So, Mr. Walker, in 2 minutes, we want to say thank you for being on the show tonight. It's been a really, really fantastic discussion with you. We appreciate you being here always to
John, did he respond to this question from George Flomo?
No, we can ask him for his parting comment.
I can say something to what you mean.
Yeah, say something about this, because sometimes our follower who don't have opportunity to ask, they will put their question through the few here, so we highlight it. And I know they want it choking you because you're 8 hour money in our place, so you have to discuss it.
So it was a good time being with you tonight. You can add that to your parting comment, and in 2 minutes, let's hear you, Chief.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I want to say thank you to the Saka family for the opportunity. At least we are talking now. Our people back there, they're hearing us, and it is a very good platform. And I would say anytime you think we should come and give our own opinion or say something to the people, we are available. For now, we are available. We can do anything that you want us to do. And I will also say to the people of Nima, they did well, especially those guys that were working with the lawmakers at the time. I can tell you, Gian, I was the only PMC chairman in Nima County that left from Nima with respect. I can say that anyway. And that was not because I was the only favorite person. It was because of the respect and the kind of cordiality I enjoy from the lawmaker staffers. The staffers, can you imagine? I even won on white ballot after I served 3 years, and they have seen what I did. Some people that came to contest, they say, my man, the young man, the work he has done, we have not seen reason to take him from there. So Peterson is going back. So I'm saying that to say there were a lot of other stuff, but the respect we enjoy from people at DK. And
I thought you were not going to call me before I can blow your secret.
There's a cool Bowie, people that there were a lot of guys.
Yes, my question now.
Yeah, you didn't ask question though.
Didn't ask. Your network is giving problem, and
you want to ask, you can ask the question.
So my question is, I heard him talking about having a lawyer and an administrator. So was he referring to the county council having a lawyer and administrator, or he was referring to the county administration having a lawyer and administrator? That's my question.
I'm talking about every county council, that 7 or 8, right? Those people that are acting, nine members of the council. All of them need to
say that again.
The 9 members, 9 council members. Each of them need to have 2 stars in their office. A lawyer, or let's say a law officer, somebody with law, okay, legal officer, and an administrative officer. 2 persons in their office, and these people needed to be vetted by the civil service agency so that it can help them carry on their job. That's it. So
the reason I ask a question is because there's a lawyer and an administrator, but I don't know whether they are assigned with the.
She's gone. Let's hear you.
Maybe whichever way they think they can do it, but from the LGA, if you go through the LGA, it tells you that the council members need to have people, staffers that will help them, and they are the composition of just the legal officer and the administrative officer in each of them office. So, like I was saying, so I enjoy the blessing from all of these guys, the lawmakers and the Nima people, after a heated, serious problem that erupted. The first PMC chairman, the soul rest in peace, Quinton Leroy, somebody that I respect so dearly. When they took him from there, the other big brother, Eddie Tenwa, came. The same thing, there was a lot of noise. And then we came on board and we decided to be straight, not show our chest, but show the law. If another person want to bring up issue, I just come to you easily interpret the law, what the law says, and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So these things, it help us a lot. You can't depend on the law. You have to build a relationship to be able to work Nima up, for Nima to be able to move smoothly. So that's what I can say from that end. From the question he asked, I can remember we faced Sonic Field, okay, but the aggregate of 260,000 is possible. Yes, we spent money like that to face Sonic Field, and by the way, Sonic Field, their composition of the Nima County sports, I call it that football tournament that they always do, plus the field renovation itself. Yes, there was first renovation that we absolutely were not part of it, and it went on, and a area was created, and then when we took over those same area, we have to add it to the current expenditure and pay. So yes, It's possible we spend this money to do the work. And coming to that, I just want to say this: when you are not in leadership, your mind tell you a lot of different things. Or when you are not working in kind of offices, like for example, people used to tell us, say, why will we advertise the project that somebody may do for 20,000? Why will we advertise and then maybe we spend 20 or 30,000 to do the project? Simple. The money is not my personal money. It's not your personal money. It's government money that has laws governing that particular funding. What the law says when you go to it, it creates a lot of expenditure. So yes, it's not a secret when we did any expenditure. And one thing about me, you auditing me, I will sit here and I will sleep sound and I'm not going to worry about it. So the audit report is there with the superintendent. The day she come with it, she will come with it to NEMA people. We may not be very perfect in every step, but if you're managing maybe $3-4 million, you're talking about 250,000 pay for a few for NEMA County Sport. So those things are not something that worry us. Okay. So thank you so much for anybody, those of you who are listening to us. Thank you for your attention. And I can say thank you to NEMA people for the opportunity to give us to work for the county. And the current superintendent, we want to say thank you for the work you're doing. But the trend you're taking, according to what I'm hearing, if you are taking that trend, it's not good for NEMA, because there is no superintendent that become hero for insulting senator or lawmaker. It can't go well. So I just want to say, in my own opinion, the best way, if the lawmaker is doing something you don't like, you have a good way to address it, not to throw hints or throw some invectives.
The other superintendent are the chairman of
The other superintendent get changing around back you.
Thank you.
I tell you, there is nothing like that. Because no, DK, lawmaker, a single lawmaker have people like 10,000 person have voted for that lawmaker. So one person appointed you in an office. When that lawmaker decide to stand in your throat, you think something will acquire you? You know what took Christian Dagadu from there? NEMA County. You know what at the time concerning bias, the noise they created, and what have you. That means most of the concerning bias, they want to come and be superintendent and be people down there, and what have you. The noise they put behind the same thing with phone. So the story go on and on. You cannot win anything when you go against your lawmakers in that way. It's not a victory. It's not a victory. I can say
Thank you.
Yeah, much
Thank you.
This one a victory for all. Y'all go sit down in Canada and do different thing.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here tonight, Mr. Peterson. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Chief. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So, folks, that was the voice of Mr. Peterson Walker, former PMC chair of NEMA County, speaking to us this evening on a couple of issues about the Local Governance Act of 2018 and also how the PMC works in Liberia. Case study to NEMA County, where he served as chairman of the PMC. It's been a wonderful show tonight. It has been a great one. 19 minutes past 10 o'clock in Liberia. We've gone a little bit 19 minutes up the time of 2 hours. But again, as we always say, when the show is interesting, we're going to switch it up to at least 3 hours and we move on with the conversation. Now, Mr. Matheson, let's get to you, your analysis and your parting comment. What do you make of,
So Matheson, before our analysis, 1 second, let me announce our lineup for this weekend. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be having veteran lawmaker, former lawmaker Wally Sewa Duna. Wally Duna served as a representative 2 terms. Wally is the last job Wally held was Minister of Postal Affairs. Yeah, so Wally will be our guest tomorrow. Anthony Wally Sewa Duna will be our guest tomorrow. On Sunday, hopefully we'll have former representative Akara Mose Gray. Then on Monday, we'll have the leadership of the NEMA University. They said there were comments that were made yesterday by me and do you know how you call the group that came yesterday? before my
Faculty
comment.
Association.
So yeah, so they will need some clarity. So Charles, Vice President Charles Nwakejo and Vice President Melvin Yelu will be our guests on Monday. So that is our lineup for this weekend. Get prepared. Wally is very knowledgeable. He's firebrand. So and we'll be having Akara Moses Gray as well. So get ready for as you host our guests tomorrow and day after tomorrow, Jim. That's it. My person, you can go ahead.
DK, we need to talk about the show, DK.
Yeah, who?
Well, let
Yeah,
me
but I got nothing to
begin.
talk.
Let me begin my analysis like this. DK said, "I'm always careful what to say." I think that's a good thing to do. And secondly, DK, at my father's age, he never had connection with vice president. He never had a friend to be an ambassador. He never had a friend to be the chief of officer in the office of the vice president. And I think I've made the mark that I can say to some extent, I have the ears of the authority. So if
So
I
we
have,
have all our team there. What's about us? So how do you consider us?
I'm talking
We
about
are
myself, not
anti
you.
to those people you just named.
No, I'm talking about myself, not you. My friend, Dr. Tico Toze Yore, ambassador in France. You know, I can share notes. So if I want to have issue, instead of going public, I know the channel to go to. So I channel my issues and we discuss it and my 10 cents giving. And I think I feel privileged by that. Right now, if I send text, Facebook text to Dr. Yole, Ambassador Yole, you will respond. That's what it takes. Now, I think it was a good show. And one of the interesting things that I'm happy about is our guest graded the performance of the current administration with a passing mark. And I think it's a good step in the right direction. Some of us will speak and speak because we don't want certain personalities we love and respect to go off track. We again do not want this government to fail because this is the government that we fought for since 2005, I would say, to 2011, 2017, especially when we were in authority, when our boss, who was leading the charge, diverted to CDC, the county inspector went to CDC, we were the one that remained standing because we saw the vision. We knew that there was going to come a day that Omen Boaka will take this country and
Who your boss that went to CDC and the deputy?
and I said deputy. And I said deputy. My boss
Yeah,
at the
but
time was D. Dokupo. He branch to
yeah.
CDC. The county inspector at the time was Reginald Mann. You went to CDC. It was Maverson David, the second, who stood firm with the PMC and the fiscal superintendent, along with some of the local authorities that believe in us. We stood our ground and supported the Unity Party government because that's my political home. And so we want to do everything to ensure that this government succeeds. In as much as we will not come to discuss some of our disagreement in public, but yes, there are disagreements. But we know the channel through which those disagreements can be communicated and rightfully addressed. And so, yes, we are proud of the county administration. They're doing their best. They should not see our position on some of the issues as, not having interest or going against anybody. No, we just want a systemic, process that will ensure a safeguard of our money, at least for the future, because a lot is leaving. And so we have to protect the little that is coming in. In the Western world, states are unique in a way. And the uniqueness is based on how well they manage their resources. And so NEMA has an opportunity to have extra $1.5 million coming in. That sets you apart from the rest of the county. So there got to be a way to manage that money so that it grows into a bigger money that will even be talking about paving our various, community roads, as opposed to, just doing quick impact project that can be eroded with the passage of time, just a rainy season. Because we just tested the surface ceiling, in Ganta, and the result is okay. When you're driving the by road via E and J, connecting the route to Saclay, and all the various streets that was open in Ganta, we just tested the surface ceiling project. The result is overwhelmed. Rainy season has come and passed, but yet the road remains solid. So we should think about the sustainability factor or some of the development decisions we make, because development must be able to live after us. But anything we do with political flavor is not going to serve our community well. And that's the saddest thing about our country. Government of the days only focus on politics, and everything they do is cosmetic, is politically motivated, and they do it for the goose of winning votes. After that, everything is lost. And I don't want it to be this government. We want this government to succeed. We believe in it. We labor for it. We work for it. We were in strategy. We were in resolution committee, making sure that we maintain peace and civility in Unity Party to keep our strategies together. And we deliver. Now we have the government. The platform must be utilized in a way. It can't be, we fought for Boaka, it must end with Boaka, and to hell with the future. That would be a wrong thing. So thank you. It was, on the overall, a very excellent show, and I look forward to meeting my big brother, my idol, former Representative Wally Sewa Duna tomorrow, as I said, to listen to him and pose in some questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Matheson. It was good having you on the show this evening too as well. Let's hear you, DK, analysis in your parting comment.
Thank you. I don't know why Lorena is really suffering with internet today. So
yeah, since she's back, let's hear her. Then
my parting comment because the internet is today giving me hard time tonight.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when I question today, and then the prospective district 7 aspirant and former defeated candidate came to ask his question. He was like trying to paint my question as maybe praising Kowu or the superintendent, let's say, for some relationship or so. But it is clear that the whole issue of the local government act debate is being elevated because people have been saying that the kind of across the county are not met for her to be doing with our county money. It should be with by central government. That's how the whole debate has been elevated. And for every time we have brought an expert of the LGA, the way they explain it, it tells us one, those projects where how you call it, the county council, they resolute it through the proper channel. There is nothing wrong with them building superintendent compound or commissioner compound or city mill or whatever project across the county because the law didn't say so, except for the affected community. There's a special land for them. So, and I know if the expert has said the other way around, people will want to, will feel very beautiful or very fun, but
their answer. But now that the answer is not the way they expected, then they say we're supporting.
DK, over to you. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Jill. Let's keep holding the ground. There are other panelists who are not there appearing. We need to reach out to them. Doma, let's reach out to Doma. I know Cedric posted today. Apparently, he was in school. So yes, let's keep holding the ground for all the sacrifice we continue to make. Continue to reach out to see how they. And so yes, let's get prepared tomorrow to host former representative. What they say about Dona, the one where the national politics, whether in Nima in Liberia, we don't have control over it. When guests come here, our duty is to ask. So when guests come here and there's debate in the country, we'll highlight what is bringing the debate. So we don't have any fish to fry. Why we don't want to defend. When people come here, you want to call dog company, you call dog company. Yeah, so there's a Ellis and another panelist here. Ellis was here during the election to defend his candidate. Outside of that, you're not a panelist here. You say you're not a panelist here. We brought you here to defend the inland candidate that were in the race. After they got defeated, you're not a panelist. We will just bring you when we want to bring you for the record. So thank you, Jill. Thank you. It was a good show. Hopefully tomorrow we all will join soon to have a nice discussion that we did today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my boss man. Thank you so much. I have to do this for Yelese, the United Twa River Development Association, Twa Quado for short, will be having her.
Are they paying for the announcement, John? They paying for this?
We from inland is our inland thing.
Okay.
So the United Twa River Development Association Twa Quado will be having her eighth annual convention. Comes October 25th, 2025, and this will be held 152 Colorado in the USA. And of course, if you check on the flyer, you will see the chief launcher is on our NSM Massey of District 4. You have some other people there, like on our Rufus Ye, who is the president, and Yelese Va will be guest speaker for that day. So it's going to be a great one. They are inviting all Twa River citizens across the world to go and grace that occasion. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you so much, DK. I appreciate you always for being here. Even though with your tight schedule, you always make it your duty to be on the show. I really appreciate you for that.
Thank you and good night. Bye-bye.
Good night. Take care. So, folks, I would like to say thank you to all of you for monitoring the show here tonight. It's been a wonderful one. It's been a great one. Yelese Va was watching us from Trump country. Era David Wawako was also watching us this evening. B. Mark Bleon was watching us. I know Mark Bleon is in Lofa County. Mark, how is Lofa this evening? Would like to say thank you for following the show too as well. Prince Zawi was following the show. Don Mela was also following the show from Ganta City. And of course, we had a lot of people following the show here tonight. Timolin Seka was following us from Pingsville, Monrovia, Liberia. Shadrach Guan Toby was watching the show from Cottington Master Campus in Monrovia. And a lot of people follow the show. Prince, we say, Wonkemi was also following from Ganta. Abraham Yanzi was also following the show from Bootwood Town, Nima County. Atterson Gonley was also following. Terran Henry was also following the show. George Flumo was following the show. Prentice Tuma was following us from Pingsville, Monrovia, Liberia. Like I said, thank you to all of you for being here tonight. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for following the show. Hope to see you guys tomorrow, same time. Thank you so much.